Boo, everybody, and welcome back to the HabWrap. I'm your host, Harry Rice. You are listening to the friendliest and funniest source for anything and everything related to the Montreal Canadiens. And my God, I think we're back, boys. There's still a couple problems with this team, but our biggest concern, I think, might have been solved. We're going to talk about it. We've got the game played against the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight, December 11th, 2025. The 30th game of the year, so we're slowly approaching the halfway mark of the season. Oh, I'm excited because at this point we're gearing up. We're about to start getting into high gear anytime now. Should the Montreal Canadiens, should the whole NHL really, as we gear towards the Olympic season. It's about 2 months away. We'll see if they even go to the Olympics with the problems they're having over there in Italy right now. But regardless, the Canadiens, of course, after last game, actually during the podcast recording, I ended up talking about it. They called up 3 guys, Adam Engstrom, Owen Beck, and Jacob Fowler. They didn't send anybody down, but with the amount of guys that they had that were injured, and also with now Jake Evans being out of the lineup because of a personal matter, thankfully will join the team Saturday. So thankfully it doesn't seem to be a huge issue, hopefully. The Canadiens had a little bit of reinforcement tonight, and we're going to talk about that. So, we got an NHL debut tonight. Jacob Fowler, spoiler alert, he would make his NHL debut. Owen Beck plays, I believe, his 6th game of the year, I want to say. I know he started out the year with the Canadiens and then got sent down. And Adam Engstrom, of course, again, is recalled up, I should say. He got a call-up earlier in the season. But yeah, let's get into the game because we've got some good things to talk about. A couple bad things, but mostly good tonight. So, the opening lines for the Canadiens were Caulfield, Suzuki, Bolduc, Slavkovsky, Kapanen, Demidov. So the top line unfortunately being broken up, but if things go the way they did tonight, that might actually be for the better. Anderson, Beck, Texier, Davidson, Veleno, Gallagher up front, Matheson, Dobson, Struble, Hudson, and Engstrom, Carrier were not the pairings actually. They switched them up. Yeah, a little switcheroo on you. It was actually Matheson, Carrier, Hudson, Dobson, and Engstrom, Struble. So, yeah, they switched up the defensive pairings, and it actually ended up being relatively okay. I thought that Hudson and Dobson especially were very good tonight. I think Matheson and Carrier had their moments, but not surprisingly, Matheson was once again a minus player tonight. And Struble makes me want to die, but hey, I hope, assume that Jack-Eye will be back in the lineup for the game against the Rangers on Saturday, especially if Matt Rempe's back, which I actually don't even know how long he is out for. He's been out at least 2 months, I'm pretty sure. He might have been reactivated, but okay, so yeah, as of 2 days ago, I just looked it up real quick. As of 2 days ago, he's in a non-contact jersey, so very likely that he doesn't, does not play, I would assume, on Saturday. But if he does, I'd imagine he's not going to be throwing the body around that much, and he's not going to be fighting, that's for sure, I'd imagine. But regardless, we shall see. And in net, Jacob Fowler makes his NHL debut. He gets the start. 100% trust from Coach Marty. We're going to see what he can do in the NHL. And Samuel Montembeault will back him up. Dobesh is a healthy scratch, of course. I would imagine that, assuming Dobesh... Sorry, I did not get enough sleep last night, as I'm sure you can tell. Forgive me. Fowler, assuming Fowler keeps up the way that he played tonight, I'd imagine Dobesh is going to be on a one-way plane back to Laval over the next couple days, mostly because I don't believe he needs to clear waivers. So I'd imagine they do that while they potentially maybe look for a trade for Monty. But then again, you're going to want a veteran who can, help the young guy. Even though Fowler, does not look like he needed help at all tonight. He did not look like he needed it, but you never know. The opening lines for the Penguins were Novak, Crosby, Rust, Mantha, Hayes, Brazo, McGroarty, Kindle, Koivunen, not Koivu, unfortunately, Heinen, Dewar, Achari up front, Shea, Letang, Witherspoon, Carlson, and Graves, Clifton on the blue line. Tristan Jarry gets the start for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Archer Seelovs backs him up, as he's been very good this season. Jarry definitely has been the backup, and especially after tonight, looks like he probably will be going forward. So, again, before the game, the only notes I had was Fowler's NHL debut. He got a solo lap, of course, without the helmet. You love to see that stuff. Penguins ice a puck 7 seconds in. Suzuki gets a chance blocked, but that's held by Jerry. It was kind of weird. It's blocked off a body, but it still rolls to Jarry, who makes the save. Is it Tristan Jarry? I'm pretty sure it's Tristan Jarry, though. Penguins ice the puck twice in the next 2 minutes. There's a good fourth line rush. Engstrom has a nice shot that's tipped, but stopped. Penguins then ice again. And the Canadiens score. A good turnover off of Chris Letang. My apologies. There we go. Good turnover off of Chris Letang. And Alex Texier, he picks it up, puts it home. It's 1-0 Canadiens. Barely 3 minutes in at 2:54. He beats Jarry's left side. Unassisted, his first as a Montreal Canadien. Props to Alex Texier. A damn good shot there. That goal comes at 2:54. It's 1-0 Canadiens. So they have an early lead. We'll see if they can hold on to it. Habs top line, oh my god. Habs top line has some good momentum off the goal. Some turnovers working hard. Crosby ends up getting hit by friendly fire. He was slow to get up, but thankfully would return in the game. We got to see how our future alternate captain is going to be playing tonight. Habs ice a puck after a few giveaways. They try to spring Veleno, but can't find him. There's a Hudson shot from center. Good puck coverage by Montreal. They had a very good eye in this first period. They were very engaged in battles on the puck, and they just had a very good game overall. Not many shots, though, because 9 minutes in, the shots are 3-0 Canadiens. Just a lot of kind of back and forth. Hey, I've got the puck. Oh, no, we've got the puck. No, we have it. Oh, no, now we have it. Just not a ton of actual chances on net. There's a break for Clifton off a Crosby pass, but the shot is deflected out of play. So Fowler, 9 minutes into his NHL debut, has not faced a shot yet. Then, guaranteed he's going to face a shot. The Habs go to the penalty kill. Carrier is called for a hold at center ice. Carrier had a really bad game tonight. I wasn't a fan of Carrier's game. I thought he took 2 really dumb penalties. I would not be surprised if he's scratched for Jack-Eye next game. So we can only hope, as Canadiens fans, we can only hope that's what happens. Fowler makes his first save. It's a nice pad stop on Mantha in front of the net. Crosby ends up bobbling a puck. Habs do clear. Penguins then try to set up, but there's a bobble as Carrier's coming out. The Habs are 1-for-1 on the penalty kill. It's a 2-on-1 from Matheson and Carrier. Matheson takes the shot. That's held by Jarry. How often do you see that? A 2-on-0 where the two guys are defensemen? You don't see it very often, if ever. Probably not the first in the NHL, but it's got to be a very rare thing. Demidov ends up losing an edge. He goes hard to the boards, a bit slow to get up. Thankfully seemed fine, as he would stay in the rest of the game. I think he maybe missed a shift. I know Crosby missed maybe a shift when he was slow to get up earlier, but he lost an edge, and there's a guy that kind of I forget who, I think it was Kapanen, shoves a guy who ends up falling over Demidov. That couldn't have felt good. Then there's a really good stop for Fowler with the glove on Crosby. And the Habs go to a power play with 6 minutes left. Brazo's called for a hold on Struble. Penguins just clear in the opening minute. Habs just clear. Habs cannot set up with the second unit out to start. The first unit, they end up getting set up, but there's a board play that ends with a clear. Good Hudson play, though, at least. Habs are 0-for-1 on the power play. Crosby goes off the side of the post. The rebound, Fowler covers. Habs get a look off a ref. Caulfield's shot gets stopped. No clue how that wasn't 2-0 Canadiens. Caulfield had a really good look. Jarry makes the good save there. Spoiler, you won't be hearing that too often. Penguins press, but there's a good clear of the zone. Gallagher on a break. He's hit and goes down. He ends up colliding with Veleno. That sucks. Caulfield in the final minute has a 5-hole chance. Suzuki follows up with one that's also stopped. The Canadiens, they lead the game 1-0. The shots are 8-4 for the Habs as well. Not a ton of shots at this stage in the game. They would pick up, believe me, as the game went on. Don't worry. This is not another, I think, basically like last game where low effort, low chance, low shot. No, high effort, low shot turns into high effort, high shots. Don't worry. In the second period, Crosby has speed. The shot gets deflected by Carrier. He goes back the other way. There's a shot held. And Suzuki and Witherspoon exchange a couple shots after the play. Witherspoon gets a punch in on Suzuki, and of course nobody's in to defend the captain for some reason. Second line has good momentum, a couple rush chances, but Jari makes a save. Penguins D with sticks, they're breaking up any actual chances for the Canadiens early. They did play well, I thought, for parts of the game, did the Penguins. Fowler's first save of the period as the Penguins' second line try to tie it. Fowler then has a good save on a Carlson blue line slapper. That hole is held after most shots. He's held after most shots that he's faced. He's just basically, I think, just easing himself into the game. All right, make a save, regain the composure, cover it up. I'm actually a fan of that. I genuinely, I don't care if the Canadiens end up playing a super boring style of hockey after this game. If we end up winning more as a result, I'll take the boring games. I'll take the New York Islanders style hockey if it means that we win. But speaking of winning, Canadiens score. Off a Penguins chance, there's a stick by Slav to break it up. A rush for the Canadiens. That leads to a Gallagher wrister up high, and he scores. Yeah, Brendan Gallagher. He can score goals, apparently. He snaps a 7-game pointless drought, gets his second goal of the season. He might get 5 this year if he's lucky. He gets that from Hudson and Slavkovsky at 4:37. Nice shot. Good pass from Hudson to get it right on the tape. Gallagher puts it home. Penguins then press sort of a 2-on-0. Kendall's shot goes through the crease. That was too close. And the Canadiens go to a penalty kill moments later. Dobson's called, sent to the box for a slash on Ruckert McGroarty. Fowler has a save on a Carlson deflection 5 seconds in. There's Mantha shot stopped. The rebound, he gets it, but there's a bobble to Veleno. He rushes, goes for a wrap bank, but can't get the shot on Jari. Goes for the bank shot off Jari and in, but doesn't get the bank he wants. Pens go back the other way. Fowler has a good squeeze of the pads off a chance with Crosby in front. Habs then clear off a draw. We are 2 for 2 on the penalty kill tonight. Suzuki has a rush, but that's gloved down by Jari. There's good passing. Hudson gets a shot that's held, though. Top line press again. Suzuki finds Caulfield. That shot is saved. Suzuki then gets a look in the left circle, but that's poked at. Graves runs over Bolduc. Fowler has a puck. Fowler gets the puck in his crease. He passes. Crosby gives him a little tap. And the Habs end up going to a power play shortly after. Koivinen's called for a trip on Engstrom halfway through the period. Caulfield has a look. Suzuki and Hudson both pass on potential one-timers. And we score! Montreal! The cycling works. Caulfield at the line. He tries to pass it across to Slavkovsky, but it banks in off Jari. Kind of what Veleno was trying to do earlier, except this one was completely accidental. Yeah, he just passes it in front. It goes off Jari, ends up in the net. Habs take the 3-0 lead with 9:43 left in the second period. Caulfield with his 17th goal of the year. He scores from Suzuki and Hudson. Again, with 9:43 left. Habs are 1 for 2 in the power play tonight. And then the Canadiens go to the penalty kill. It's a holding called on Jared Davidson. Fowler has a good stop on a Carlson slapper. That's deflected into his pads. Habs have a shorthanded look. Suzuki ends up with a chance. Anderson then has a shorthanded rush, but he turns it over. Back the other way, Fowler bails Andy out with 2 really good stops. Makes the first save, tracks the rebound, makes the second save. 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Struble hits a Penguin along the boards. He ended up taking the worst of that. He ended up taking the guy's skate to his balls. Yeah, I'll give you guys a minute to squeeze your legs together. Yeah, he would be slow to get up. He'd play through his shift. goddamn, though. I completely get if Struble doesn't want to play next game because he's icing down those balls still. Jesus Christ, fucking, I really hope it's just the same feeling that when you get kicked in the balls and there's no actual damage down there. Fuck it, Struble, please reach out. Genuinely worried. Holy shit. Habs' second line goes out. Hudson to Dobson. He walks it in. The shot. Rebound. It gets cleared, though. Hudson then finds Demidov on a one-timer that's deflected out of play. Habs come in numbers. They get a chance. Caulfield has a one-timer saved. Goes back the other way. Ben Kindle, who's been all over the ice tonight and would be for the rest of the game, gets a 2-on-0, but he bobbles it. Habs go the other way. Davidson gets 2 good looks, but no goal. Back the other way, there's a 2-on-1 for, yeah, you guessed it, Ben Kindle. The shot is off Fowler's paddle. Habs then get an icing going their way, so, in other words, the Penguins ice it. It comes out eventually, and the Canadiens, they rush chance, and they score with pressure. Owen Beck makes it 4-0, his first in the NHL, just puts it over the blocker. Good shot, good shit. 4-0 Habs lead with 3:39 left. And the Penguins are gonna call their timeout. This game has not gone the way they wanted it to. But wait, turns out they're not calling their timeout to talk to their players. They're challenging the goal for offside because Josh Anderson. So they challenge it. The refs look at it. The one angle we see, or one of the angles we see, the ref extends his arm as Anderson's crossing, so you can't tell if he's in offside or not. But yeah, he is. The refs look at it. They come back after a minute, and yeah, it's offside. Josh Anderson is a cancer to this team. So it's still only 3-0 for the Canadiens, unfortunately. Owen Beck is going to have to get his first of the NHL sometime else, unfortunately. Struble ends up giving a puck right to Mantha on a break. Engstrom, though, comes back in time to make the save. Engstrom, I thought, played probably his best game in the NHL. Up to this point, he was actually noticeable, both offensively and defensively. I thought he had a good game. Wouldn't mind keeping him next game again if either Struble or Carrier are scratched for Jack-Eye. Wouldn't mind that at all. I actually want to see Engstrom get another game. See if this was just a complete fluke of a game for this Canadiens team, or if it's how we're going to play and Engstrom looks good from now on, which obviously he's a Canadiens player, so I'm hoping for the best for him. Fowler has a good stop. Very calm with the pad. Fowler, if he had any nerves whatsoever, it did not show when he was making saves. It didn't show whatsoever. He was really good. Jari sends a puck up to McGroarty. He gets on a break. That goes off the post. Habs then ice it, trying to find Gallagher on a break the other way. The final minute, Habs do press, but there's some missed passes. Penguins get momentum. They get a couple quick shots. Fowler stays calm, though. So the shots, 21-20 for the Penguins. And a 3-0 Canadiens lead after the second period. Will Fowler be able to hold the shutout? Oh no, I said it. And the Penguins score 44 seconds in. Rust right in front. Carrier's not back in time to cover his man. It's just a good shot. A centering feed from Rust, and Fowler just gets beat. Not really much he could actually do on that chance. Right in front of the net. 44 seconds in, it's 3-1. However, before you can really mope about, Fowler didn't get the shutout, we score! 15 seconds later, Oliver Kapanen makes it a 4-1 game. Just a wide open net, a beauty of a pass on a rush from Slafkovsky. Kapanen's given the wide open net, and he gets his second on the team, 10th goal of the year. He scores at 59 seconds from Slafkovsky, and Ivan Demidov, who I believe is now 1 point back of Beckett Seneca for second in rookie points this year. Good shit. Habs try to make it 5-1. Demidov is hit hard by Clifton. Pens come back the other way. There's a couple good sticks by the Canadiens. And they go to a power play early. Heinen's called for a weak slash. Pens do clear twice. Bolduc breaks in. There's some setup. Suzuki eventually takes a shot. That's wide and all the way back to Fowler. The Penguins press, and we're 1 for 3 on the power play because of a delayed penalty. Demidov's called for a hook on Shea. That sucks. Habs clear in the opening minute. Rust comes in. The shot gets stopped by Fowler. Anderson then with 2 good shot blocks. That's some good shit. Maybe he should be used in a fourth line penalty kill role, because Anderson is not horrible on the penalty kill. And then it's 5-on-3 after Fowler covers a puck. There's a small little get-together, and I believe it's Ben Kindle. He goads Carrier into shoving him. Carrier's called for roughing. We'll get a 20-second 5-on-3 for the Pens. They win the draw, but no shots. Habs do get a clear. So after the first penalty kill, it's 4-on-4. The Canadiens are 4-for-4. It's not a 4-on-4. The Canadiens are 4-for-4 on the penalty kill. Habs get a clear with the Carrier kill still going on. Penguins cycle. They're trying to get a one-timer, but they'll eventually just take a weak shot. Fowler holds with seconds left. Habs are 5-for-5 on the penalty kill tonight. They definitely needed a good game like this for their penalty kill. It should get them about 80-81%. Fingers crossed that actually is the case. Habs top line cycles. Bolduc gets hit in the numbers behind the net. No call. Thankfully, it wasn't too hard, though. Habs with some press. Mantha gets on a rush. Good stick, though. Mantha on a break Mantha gets a breakaway. There we go. Good stick, though, by Matheson to break that up. Kindle all over the puck tonight. He's really pushing to generate offense. I see why they kept Kindle in the NHL this year, because even if he's not getting points, he is extremely noticeable. At least he was tonight. Caulfield has a good poke up to Bolduc, who slashes at the puck. He gets it to Suzuki. Suzuki needed a one-timer that. He grabs the puck, tries to fake out Jari, doesn't, and he doesn't even get the shot off, I believe. Yeah, that just sucks. I want to see Suzuki score a little more. That was a prime opportunity, but he just tried to wait it out way too long. Habs looked depressed. Beck was really impressive tonight. I thought Beck had a pretty good game for the Canadiens. Would not be surprised to see, even though I like him defensively, would not be surprised to see Veleno sit for Beck getting that fourth line spot next game. Or maybe they just put Evans fourth line and run with Beck on the third, because honestly, that wasn't a bad pairing tonight. Or a bad line, I should say, tonight. There's a break the other way. Engstrom ends up going to the box for a hook. Damn it. Jari is at the bench to start the penalty kill, so it's a 6-on-4 for the Penguins with 5 minutes left, and they score. They win the draw, they end up cycling it, and Erik Karlsson, with just his second of the year, he is washed. He scores from Letang and Rust with 4:43 left. You might be saying, Harry, well, if he's washed, what does that make Jacob Fowler? A victim, because Mantha and Matheson are both screening him. Matheson makes no effort to try and clear Mantha from the net to let Fowler see the puck. Yeah, that Matheson is genuine trash defensively. So it's a 4-2 Canadiens lead, and the Habs are now 5-for-6 on the penalty kill tonight. Even if they allow the one goal, they needed a night like this for their penalty kill, boost their stats up a little bit. Because their penalty kill, to me personally, is not as bad as the stats would indicate. I think they actually play a pretty okay penalty kill game. The Penguins then press. It comes out. Suzuki, Slav both tumble around. Jerry goes to the bench again with 3 minutes left. Fowler has a good stop. He holds with a body in front. Another good stop on Crosby, who's trying to go 5-hole. Then there's another glove hold on Crosby with Kindle right in front. Penguins press with 2 minutes left. Fowler just super calm, not worrying whatsoever, it looks like. And then there's a wide open net off of a save. One of the few rebounds Fowler would give up tonight. And oh my god, Lane Hutson keeps this a 2-goal game. Not at any fault of... not at fault of Fowler at all, but that rebound, if Hudson's not there, this game is 4-3. Hudson with a beauty of a save there. The second time he's blocked a wide open net chance this season. And yeah, that's going to do it. Habs go to a power play with 18 seconds left. That would be Letang called for a hook on Noah Doobson, on the one and only the Dobster, the Doobie Man. Habs don't get anything. They just kill the time to win the game. Habs end up 1-for-4 on the power play. So the final shots, 35-29. Sorry, they've actually updated that. 38 38-29 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Habs win the game 4-2 in regulation. Just absolutely insane. I also have to update Fowler's numbers really quickly. There we go. Just a fantastic game from Jacob Fowler. The defensive game kind of got a little bit weak in the third with how many shots that they allowed. 18 of the 38 shots that they allowed tonight were in that third period. They did allow 16 shots in the second, but they also played a good game in the second. The third, it was a little bit more of a weakened defensive game. But hey, 2 out of 3 periods, it's better than 5 minutes of a 60-minute game. It's better than playing well for 5 minutes. But yeah, so the Canadiens, they pick up a huge win, a much-needed win. However, unfortunately, this still does put them out of the playoffs. It's only by a point. They do have a game in hand on all of Tampa, Detroit, and Boston. Assuming Tampa, Detroit, and Boston also play on Saturday, or play before then, Friday, the Canadiens have a chance to catch up to, at the very least, Detroit, with the game against the New York Rangers, who are only a point back of them right now in the Eastern Conference standings. So, yeah, again, only 30 games in, but it's about time to start slowly noticing the standings. So, yeah, the Montreal Canadiens with a big win. Jacob Fowler with just a fantastic performance tonight. It's safe to say, I think, that Jacob Fowler is the starter right now. Now, here's the thing. It's not going to be a Jakob Dobesh situation either where, he plays good for the first couple games and then he falters. No. Fowler is super calm. He's the same percentage he had tonight, which we'll get into in the stats in a second. Don't be surprised if he's consistently putting that up. Like, it's probably unrealistic to think, but with how calm he is and how much he challenges himself, it won't surprise me at all if he puts up similar numbers against the Rangers. Speaking of the stats, let's get into them, and then let's end this. I had a few 2 pages extra notes to talk about tonight. So, yeah. For the stats, who leads the team? Of course, it's the captain, Nick Suzuki. He's got 8 goals, 26 assists for 34 points. Cole Caulfield leads the team with 17 goals. He's also got 15 assists for 32 points on the year. Ivan Demidov with 6 goals, 18 assists, 24 points. He's on a 5-game assist streak. Lane Hudson with 5 goals and 19 assists for 24 points on the year. He has 10 points in his last 10 games. Yaroslav Kavsky with 9 goals and 9 assists for 18 points. Noah Dobson with 4 goals and 14 assists for 28 points. Oliver Kapanen, 10 goals and 6 assists for 16 points. Michael Matheson with 4 goals, 12 assists for 16 points. He is also a -8 in his last 7 games. Zach Bolduc with 6 goals, 7 assists, and 13 points. Alex Newhook, who's still unfortunately hurt, has 6 goals and 6 assists for 12 points. Brendan Gallagher with 2 goals and 9 assists for 11 points. Once again, he snaps a 7-game pointless drought. Good for you, Gally. Josh Anderson has 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. He's got a 9-game pointless drought. Jake Evans, who again didn't play tonight, has 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points with a 6-game pointless drought. Again, that didn't move at all. Alexander Carrier, I'll say that, there we go, has a goal and 7 assists for 8 points, and he has a 7-game pointless drought. Kirby Dach, who's unfortunately out, had 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points. He is, I believe, expected back at the end of the month, so fingers crossed he ends up playing well when he returns. Jaden Struble has 4 assists. He has an 11-game pointless drought. Alexander Texier has a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Caden Gooley, who's unfortunately still hurt, had a goal and an assist. Joe Veleno has a goal. He has a 10-game pointless drought. Arbor Jacki, Patrick Laine, who is unfortunately still hurt, Florian Jacki, who's back down in Laval, and Jared Davidson all have an assist. Arbor Jacki leads the way with a 25-game pointless drought and also has 4 fights this year. Jaden Struble has 2 fights, while Josh Anderson, Caden Gooley, Joe Veleno, and Florian Jacki all have a fight. As for the goaltending now, Jacob Dobesh has a 10-5-2 record with a 3.15 goals against average, 3.15 goals against average, and an 8.87 save percentage. Samuel Montembeault with a 5.6-1 record, a 3.65 goals against average, and an 8.57 save percentage. And Jacob Fowler, with a 1-0-0 record. Let me do that again. A 1-0-0 record, a 2.01 goals against average, and a 9.47 save percentage. Yeah, Jacob Fowler, man. Just insane NHL debut. Oh, I should also mention, because I really wanted to talk about this and I didn't put it in my notes because I thought I'd remember. Jacob Fowler is the 4th goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens to debut against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Ken Dryden, Patrick Waugh, Carey Price, and now Jacob Fowler have all done it, and all of them have beaten the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, that's interesting. That is also going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you are on YouTube. Do not forget to hit that follow button if you're on Spotify, Amazon, wherever you might be listening to this that isn't YouTube. Thank you all again so much for watching. Very quick update. I didn't upload the DVD collection video yesterday because I'm trying to find a good thumbnail, and I haven't been able to, so I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to actually upload that tomorrow. So, yeah, again, that's the first part of the DVD collection, and once again, we will be uploading them intermediately with the days that do not have a Canadiens game. So, yeah. Again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to share with anyone who you think might enjoy, with any friends, family, or anybody that you think might enjoy listen to some fat kid talk about the Canadiens for half an hour, or if they enjoy Canadiens and want to listen to a podcast, or they're a hockey fan looking for a Canadiens podcast, whatever it may be, don't forget to share it with them, see if they'll like it. So yeah, again, that is going to do it for this episode of the HabWrap. Thank you all so much for watching, and always remember, no matter how good we are like last year, how good we are like this year, how great we'll be like next year, go Habs go, Anna Montreal, and say it with me everybody, c'est la boo!